a lot of people are worried if it's your first time about burning through the paint. And when you talk about burning through the paint, what that means is, in the case of this car, this has got a base coat, clear coat finish. And a lot of people think clear coats aren't paint. They're paint without pigment. So if you're working on clear coat, you're still working on paint. It's just clear paint. Just keep that in mind. You know, whether it's base coat, clear coat, or single stage, it's all paint. Okay. So now when we talk about burning through the paint, in the context of this car, what that means is you would take off so much clear layer that you would turn your pad over and see the black coming off. That's a really bad sign. You don't want to see that. And a lot of times when I'm doing custom work, like I actually stand down and cut and buff a lot of cool cars like this every year, like 4 or 5 a year. And one of the things I always show when I'm shooting a video or pictures is that whatever the color of the car is, you don't see it on my wool pad or my foam pad when I'm done. That's the goal. Do the whole thing without ever striking through or burning through the paint. But here's the thing. These tools are really safe. I showed this in the last video. I'm going to pump this down to the 4 setting. And you know, I understand you're scared, but here's a couple things. One is don't ever buff on top of raised body lines or edges. So there's this inset here where there's a fresh air intake, and right here where this plane meets this plane, there's a raised body line. With the raised body line, a lot of times the paint may be thinner for a couple of reasons. First, when they painted it, because it's a high point, gravity causes the paint to flow downward, so the high points can be thinner just naturally from the painting process. But the other reason it could be thinner is through normal wear and tear. Maybe this car is washed 1,000 times. There's some kind of wear taking place there. But another reason why is because if this car's ever been buffed out for somebody before me, and I don't know what they used, maybe they used what I call a caveman compound. That means crap for abrasive technology. Call it rocks in the bottles. Maybe they used a wool pad like this. So nothing wrong with this. I'm going to show how to use this on this car, but here's a wool pad on a rotary. But they use that in conjunction with a real junky compound, and the effect is they remove the swirls and scratches, but all the raised body lines and all the edges, they left the paint thinner. You come along using all good stuff with good technique, make one pass, and you go through, because the other guy left it, as I like to say, whisper thin, very thin. So was it your fault? It's his fault, but guess who's going to take the hit? You are. So that's why I tell people when it comes to an edge, buff next to it, but don't put that polisher right on top and buff on it, okay? You know, it's just ridiculous. Just get close to it. No one's going to come around to your car and go, well, you know, Mike, you really did a good job. But right here by the edge, I still see a few swirls. You know, let him buff out the car next time. So just try to bring some common sense to it.